Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we need to talk about the tons of severe weather that we're seeing in the upcoming pattern. There's just multiple days of concerning severe weather that we need to take a look at. Among other things, we have two bigger storms coming up overall, two big low pressure systems that we need to talk about coming into the country, and really what the pattern is going to bring with those features. Anyways, before I get into this video, be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. For today's comment of the day, I want to know, do you think that April overall, I know we're pretty far away, but do you think that April overall will be a warmer month or a little bit of a colder month compared to normal? April can really swing either way, so I'm curious what you guys will think in the comments down below, and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Let's get straight into this video. First things first, we're taking a look at the radar imagery. We can see there's a low pressure system somewhere in here, and we see this cold front just really digging down like this, and then a bit of a warm front coming up like this. So this cold front is really progressive underneath, and we're seeing this warm air wrap around like this. This is what's causing this really interesting like swirly motion in it, as you can see. If you just pay close attention, that storm has really interesting spin to it for sure, just like that. Now we also have some showers up there for the northwest. It's pretty typical this time of year, and that's really the main two things we have going on. So let's just zoom into these individual regions here. Kind of just one big storm, I guess, outside of this area here, where there is just precipitation around. I can't say it any other way. This is usually how things are up here, and over the past month, I would say this is becoming more and more frequent, even though it was already very frequent, but it has become even more frequent in my mind over that time period. Now, for the western regions of Washington and Oregon, we can see that there is some rainfall, some snowfall for the mountains there, but mostly rainfall there. As we've approached the springtime and gotten closer and closer to kind of the heart of spring, I've been seeing less and less snowfall for this region. Even over the mountains, there's sometimes rainfall. So that has been one of the interesting changes over the past month or so. Now for the Rockies, we're a lot higher elevation and a lot more consistently high elevation over Montana and Idaho. So that's why we're still seeing a ton of snowfall in here. But even now, I think we're seeing more rainfall mixing in for that region as well, compared to what maybe we would have been seeing about, let's say, a month ago or so. Pretty interesting stuff there. We're going to have to take this area in chunks because there is just a lot to unpack here. We'll take a look at the warm front here. We'll save the most intense for last. But this pocket in here, we can see a lot of rainfall along this. No lightning. Likely it's very cold up here. And things are going to be warming up. Although this front does look a little stationary at this point. And what I mean by that is that we're not seeing, like, let's say the warm front is right about here. We're not seeing this progress that far north. It seems like there is a lot of cold pushing back like this. So this front is likely just very stationary at this point. But if we do see it progress further north, you can expect warmer conditions behind this precipitation to the south of it. That is what I would expect at this point. But what this basically means for this region is expect some flooding possibilities. I guess there is some lightning in there, actually. I'm seeing some of that in Idaho here at times. I'll delete that, but if you look in there, there is some lightning popping up. But we can expect some flooding in there because these heavier showers are just staying over the same exact spots, which can lead towards a lot of rainfall when we see this happen. So, yeah, lots of rainfall, not because of how heavy it is, but because of how long it lasts in general. Now, near the low pressure system here, I would say the low right now is about here. It was about here, so we've seen it kind of move up to here, I would say. The interesting thing is that we're seeing a snowfall popping up here around right here, as you can see, for Kansas, which is very crazy to think about near Wichita and areas surrounding there. We have seen a pocket of pretty bad thunderstorms take place in here, kind of in between the low pressure system and the cold front, because this cold front just extends way out here. But there's just this area in here that's had pretty interesting thunderstorms. I'll zoom into those. Yeah, so we've had a lot of lightning and a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings with this area in here, as you can see. Now it's moved all the way up into Missouri at this point, but it was in Oklahoma, worked its way through northern Arkansas, and now it's mostly in Missouri. But I'm sure those storms have been very, very intense. Another area that's quite intense is probably northern Mississippi in through western Tennessee at this point, and this will be moving towards central Tennessee and maybe even central Kentucky over time. This isn't our main severe weather region, but really what's interesting here is just how much yellow and orange there is, how large the area of heavy rainfall is there, and just how much precipitation there is. You can expect substantial amounts of rainfall for this yellow area I just circled, and you have already seen probably substantial rainfall if you live in this region as well. Now, as we work our way further south, this is our main severe weather region, and look at the amount of lightning happening in here. A lot of activity obviously going on in our main area. I think that we're expecting severe weather is here in Alabama and the panhandle of Florida, kind of in the morning, even into a little bit of the afternoon, but this is progressing so fast. I don't know if we'll make it to the afternoon. I think really a lot of this is going to happen in the morning hours. We're going to take a look at the Storm Prediction Center at the end of the video, or like towards the end of the video. We'll be looking at day one, maybe even, middle-ish. But stay tuned for that, please, because we're going to have some important information if you do live in this region. And if you absolutely cannot stay to the end of the video, I highly suggest you look at the Storm Prediction Center and just see their outlook and read the synopsis down below and just overall their thoughts for your specific region because that could be life-saving information. We're not going to go over the synopsis, so I guess I really suggest you look at the Storm Prediction Center either way, but we will break down the categorical outlook in a little while. All right, that's the entire country. Have a lot going on, so what we're going to do here is we're going to move on. We're going to talk about that model guidance kind of briefly, actually, and then we're going to move right into the Storm Prediction Center. All right, now here's the European model. We can see the storm that is taking place right now over this region. Very, very interesting setup we have here, and this won't be the only storm that's like this. We're going to have another storm that's going to work its way through that'll be just like this one. We can see a bit of snowfall there on the northern end, but that is not going to be the main feature with this storm. The main feature with this storm is going to be definitely the severe weather underneath, and then eventually we'll see it move out to the northeast. But while that's been happening, we've seen a storm move like this into the Rockies, and we will see another storm develop, almost identical low pressure system over Oklahoma again. Severe weather to the south. This is our big severe weather concern. Monday into Tuesday and even into Wednesday, I would say is a big time period to be watching that I'm very, very concerned about. We do get a little bit more snowfall this time around, so this cold front is going to be a little bit more intense than the one prior to it. And also, our low pressure system is going to be a little bit more intense than the previous storm as well. We're getting into the 900s here. So this is a more substantial storm overall. This one that's going to be following up the one we're seeing now. And it stays in the 900s. And you can see that severe weather in thunderstorms moves all the way up into here, likely by the time we're reaching about Thursday. So basically, I would say the areas that can expect thunderstorms, really is going to extend well into here, and it might even go further west, honestly. But I can't rule it out for really anywhere in there because there will be warm air really taking over that entire region, and then we will see that brutal cold front come through with the stronger low pressure system around it. So overall, these are all features that you're looking for with thunderstorm activity. Yeah, a lot of that activity. Then we see this one eventually move offshore as like a Miller B nor'easter, which is pretty interesting. And that does bring some snowfall to northern Maine. But after that, this is March 25th. So again, I'll walk you through the dates. Monday, here. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then eventually Friday it's moved out. That's going to be the 21st through the 25th. And then we get a little bit quieter and a little bit colder as well. We see something like this in the jet stream, so things will cool down a little bit, it looks like. This is by Monday, or, Sunday, Monday time frame, 27th, 28th. The interesting thing is we do have a storm moving in by this point, and that usually does pull down the cold air, so usually we will see this trough kind of move out. So that one we'll go ahead and be like, see you later, and then we'll see this ridge kind of move in to the east, and then this storm will pull this cold air here, almost recycles here, and then it will move down into the western United States. So we'll basically see the pattern do this, just like that. As that low pressure system moves in, and the low pressure system is what really encourages that cold air to move into the west. This is kind of what we've been seeing over and over and over again since January. So that is why I feel so confident in saying that that is likely what will happen here in the extended range, but we will have to wait and see. Now let's get into the Storm Prediction Center real quick. Now there is a lot to unpack here, but here's the day one categorical outlook. This is what I was talking about when I said mostly Alabama that we're worried about, but still a little bit of Mississippi's in that enhanced risk as well. You want to be worried anywhere. You should be, cautious, but definitely those areas with the enhanced risk is where we're expecting the most bad weather, obviously. Now, the lighter green is going to be your general thunderstorm risk here, this entire region here. And that is where we can expect general thunderstorms. Not really anticipating severe weather, but it is certainly possible really anywhere. For instance, here in Virginia, we were in a general thunderstorm risk yesterday, and there were some pretty bad storms happening in the area. I did get hit with 2 thunderstorms yesterday, which was pretty cool. My first thunderstorm in the morning, and then my second one in the afternoon. So that was pretty interesting, and usually that's pretty odd for March around here. But we were in a general thunderstorm risk. I'm fairly certain that storm that didn't hit my location did feature some hail and potentially some damaging wind because it was very intense. So I would say that severe weather is very possible outside of the marginal risk, but it's not generally expected, if that makes sense. Now, the darker green is going to be your general or your marginal risk there. That is where we do expect some severe weather to be possible, especially isolated severe weather. But things can get pretty bad in these regions, and that's kind of just what we expect at this point. The yellow region is called the slight risk, and that's where we expect scattered severe weather in there to be fairly likely for a lot of these areas. But there will be some areas in there that don't see severe weather. That's usually what you see with that. Now, the enhanced risk is really where we expect more widespread severe weather and really bad thunderstorms to take place. So that is the expectations at this point. And then if we were to see a moderate or a high risk, just for educational purposes, it gets more and more widespread. Where when you're in a high risk, it is expected that you will see some sort of severe weather, whether that be damaging wind, hail potentially, or tornadoes within 25 miles of your house. It's more likely than not that you will see severe weather. That's usually a high risk is usually associated with 60% chance of severe weather. So again, more chance than not of seeing severe weather. All right, now that we've broken that down, let's get into the individual outlooks here. For wind today, we have a 5% chance within 25 miles of a given location there within the green, and then a 15% chance there within the yellow. Here in the day one hail outlook, we have a 5% chance there in the green, 15% chance there within the yellow. And then this hatched area here, you see this area here, that's where we expect potentially significant hail. Very, very large hail will be possible within that black hatched region. 2-inch diameter or more hail actually is really what the expectations are of being possible in there. Still only a 15% chance, so it's not like it's a 60% chance. It's not a high risk, but it is possible today. So that is going to be an interesting thing to watch out for. Tornadoes, we also have a hatched risk today, which is also super interesting. So a 2% chance there within the green, 5% chance here within the brown, and then that hatched area features a 10% chance of tornadoes within 25 miles of a given location underneath it. But also, this hatched region means above EF2 tornadoes are going to be possible. So EF3, 4s, and 5s will be possible today, or more possible than most days, is what the Storm Prediction Center is really saying here. Now, the day two categorical outlook, everything moves towards the East Coast. I'm kind of crossing my fingers that here in Virginia we get another thunderstorm. I think that'd be pretty cool. Obviously, don't want severe weather, but when there is a chance of severe weather, that increases your chance of thunderstorms, usually. We have 2 general thunderstorm risks here. One there out west, and then one here for the entire eastern seaboard and a lot of the Ohio Valley as well. Again, this is where general thunderstorms are expected, but you can't rule out severe weather necessarily. Marginal risk there is the darker green. It's where we start to see the isolated severe weather, and then the 2 slight risk regions, one there for Pennsylvania and New York, and then one there for the Mid-Atlantic coast down through the southeast all the way down into portions of Florida. That is where we expect scattered severe weather to be possible. Now, we do have the individual outlooks for this one as well. Wind is going to be a 5% chance within 25 miles of a given location there within the green. 15% chance there within the 2 yellow regions of damaging wind. Hail here, 5% chance there within the green. 15% chance there within the yellow. That's pretty crazy because usually the East Coast doesn't see as much hail chance. Just something to do with the Atlantic Ocean. Just really doesn't bring that level of instability typically. But it is pretty rare for at least my region in Southeast Virginia to see 15% chance of hail, or especially even higher would be crazier. But I have in recent years actually seen hail, usually at least once a year, like pea-sized hail or something. So I would be interested if that happened again. That'd be pretty interesting. Now, better yet, tornado outlook. We have a 2% chance there within the green, and then a 5% chance there in the brown. It's all within 25 miles of a given location. Now, I really hate to see this, obviously, for my local region, so I'm really hoping that everybody gets through this with no tornadoes, obviously, on day 2, which will be Saturday, March 19th, by the way. Day 1 is going to be today, Friday, March 18th, so just so you know, I forgot to mention that. Now, day 3 is only general thunderstorm risk, so we're skipping right over that. If you're really curious, you can check out the Storm Prediction Center, but dangerous weather isn't expected on day 3, so that's why we're just skipping right over it. Day 4 here, probability outlook. This is the really bad one. Monday, March 21st. I'm very worried about this. We have a 15% chance of severe weather there within the yellow, which is at least a slight risk. And then within the orange, which, by the way, is the highest level they can go to. So they can't go any higher anyway, but that is usually at least an enhanced risk. But they might be thinking moderate or something like that, and we don't know yet. But we will know a lot more tomorrow. That's why I'm highly anticipating tomorrow's video, and especially Sunday's video, because the next day also we have a 15% chance there within the yellow, and then a 30% chance there within the orange again on Tuesday, March 22nd. Again, yellow is at least a slight risk usually, and then the orange is at least an enhanced risk usually. Because slight risk, when you look at the probability outlook, is 15. Enhanced is 30 on their categorical and probability outlook when you compare the two. So that's how I know this, by the way. It's not assumptions. It's just the percentages they use to translate to categories or whatever. And then day 6 here, which is going to be Wednesday, March 23rd, we can see that the Southeast is still dealing with this for Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. There with at least a slight risk there for that region. So lots and lots of severe weather coming up, guys. Please, like I said, pay attention to the Storm Prediction Center. You can head over to their website, search up just SPC, Storm Prediction Center, and it will take you straight to their website there on the National Weather Service. And they will have a whole written paragraph down below with a lot of information for your individual region. I highly, highly recommend you do that. And then also, as always, heed those warnings and watches, obviously, that the Storm Prediction Center puts out. Anyway, guys, for today's confidence tab, what do you think we're at? 4 out of 6, obviously. So still haven't moved away. For today's comment of the day, I asked you guys, what do you think is the highest category outlook we will see during the next foreseeable future, basically, on the Storm Prediction Center? And Chance Chrisman said, I think the enhanced risk on the day 5 outlook could be upgraded to a moderate risk by day 1, and I certainly think that's possible, unfortunately, but I really do agree that it is looking like that day 5, which is now day 4, by the way, so the Texas, Oklahoma one, the more western-based one, definitely looks really, really bad, and even the next day could be very similar, so we're going to have to watch out for that, unfortunately. For today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our Platinum patrons, Bill Crates, James Wade, Dovey Nagel, Larry the Pan, Mandy Birchfield, Patrick Strickland, Dave Scott, and Donna Carnes as well. I would also like to thank our Diamond patrons, Bill Roberts, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Kudalasa, Catbite, Charles Stinnett, Bill Dallas, Gary's, and John Khaleesi also. I would also like to thank our channel members, Catbite, Stephen Finn, and Jeremy Cox as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. I'll see you guys in the next video.